So PlaqueBoyMax really quit streaming. Video by Hello Yassine Extras. So I have noticed that Max has been gone for a minute now. I don't know where he went. He was, on a pretty good run, and he just took a break. I assumed, he was just taking a little break. Maybe he was working on something behind the scenes, or maybe he just needed some time to, to recharge. You know what I'm saying? So, but they're saying he quit. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on. You feel me? I'm interested. So I wonder what's the deal.
What's poppin', y'all? PlaqueBoyMax disappearing. PlaqueBoyMax became such a mainstream fixture in streaming that him disappearing for just less than not even disappearing, him just being absent from streaming for what has been a month now just got everybody going in a frenzy. So much so that even Dante reacted to it. We're gonna play the clip in a moment, but first I want to cover PlaqueBoyMax. He was doing a 365 days thing starting the beginning of this year. So he was trying to stream 365 days. I think he was trying to do a vlog every single day too, which is a monumental challenge and goal to do. Like, looking back at it, I don't know how Roman Atwood and Casey Neistat were vlogging every single day and uploading every single day, and I think they did it for 2 years straight. So that just goes to show you, like, guys like that, they're built.
That's super consistent. To do that for 2 years straight, bro, they were putting in the work. For real. They were putting in the work. And that's the point. That's the level I'm trying to reach. But yeah, so I didn't even know that he was attempting to do that, to go 365 days straight. I didn't even know that was even his plan to do. But let's see.
Way different. Like PlaqueBoyMax, he had a team at this point, and he was streaming. But, streaming and vlogging and editing, especially Casey Neistat, is completely different. But I'm not going to go down that tangent. So with PlaqueBoyMax, he took a month off, and people were like, yo, this is really serious, because you committed to a year-long streaming thing. The majority of his audience, all of his audience, is based on him streaming and being a content creator. And now he's just gone. Nobody knows when he's going to come back. In the midst of him being gone, a song with Fred again and Skepta drops, and he gets credit from none other than Anthony Fantano on this track. So I'm going to play you guys that clip right now.
Also, shout out to Fred again, Skepta, and PlaqueBoyMax for this new single over here, Victory Lap. What a banger. What a banger, man. I mean, we know Fred again is capable of making hard-hitting cuts like this. We know Skepta to this day is a great rapper. But PlaqueBoyMax really, shout out to him, because he's making some impressive connections and, actually putting out here and there some good creative output when he actually does nail down a good quality collaboration with an artist, with a collaborator, really kind of like making that super successful and, valid transition. I wouldn't say transition, but being able to keep one foot in the streaming world while simultaneously, kind of growing his footprint in the music world in a legitimate sense, and putting out some good material in the process.
Yeah, that's actually very impressive. The fact that he's able to, and people have really given him have really credited him. DDG got a hit song with him. Central C was really impressed with him. This whole thing with Skepta, he's really talented, you feel me? So the fact that he was able to have such a strong foothold in both industries, is pretty impressive, to say the least. Especially as somebody who, is for the most part on his own, doing it on his own. So it's pretty impressive. So, and maybe because that is a lot of pressure to put on anybody, that could cause anybody a lot of stress. So maybe that's the reason why he took a step back, to be like, all right, I need to catch my breath for a little bit, possibly, I don't know.
Us with some, very seasoned veterans.
Regardless of what you think about his music opinions, this is a good look. He got a good look on this track. This track is getting pushed by Fred again. Fred again is a huge producer too. Very talented guy. I just heard about him. I remember some chick telling me yo, Fred again's my favorite guy. I was like, what the hell is a Fred again? I don't know if this was a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. I didn't even know what that was. But I checked him out after that, after 6 months, because I usually ignore the first mention of it. And I was like, okay, this guy's cold with it. But with PlaqueBoyMax, they got a song together, and it's like a UK artist too. So that drops in the midst of it, and people start thinking like, yo, did PlaqueBoyMax quit streaming to become a full-time artist? Because this is at the same time he signed with Capitol. Quavo had leaked that initially before they announced it, and he signed with I think it was Field Trip.
Damn.
Zach Via's
he signed a deal. I didn't even know that. That's interesting.
record label, which is the same place where Yeet is at. And I think Zach Bio was managing him for at least the past year on, I don't know if it's like just the streaming stuff or the music stuff, but he was managing him. But Dante even reacted and gave his own thoughts on PlaqueBoyMax's disappearance and his music career. So I'm gonna play you guys that clip right now.
Like, I feel like streaming, which he was already good at, or it was like already on top of, to try to cut, I don't know if he's cutting it off completely and just trying to do music and then just like, you know, be in the dark and then it drops and then go back in the dark like these other artists be doing. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I'm not saying he can't do it, but I'm just like, bro, like, I feel like niggas gonna miss like that personality. Like, I don't know if his personality's gonna change because of the you know, the music image now. Like, you know, he don't want to be seen as that goofy ass dude on stream. He wants to be seen as an actual artist. Because if you make music and you still stream or you do YouTube, you're not going to be just looked at as an artist. You're going to look at like a streamer who does music and shit like that. So it's hard to escape that, which I can see why he would probably just try to strictly do music. But
I think Dante's got a great point here, and Dante's a perfect example of this because Dante's somebody that shifted. Like, he was initially a YouTuber, a reaction YouTuber, and he went to Twitch very, very early. And he kept doing both, but transitioning from a YouTuber to a streamer, I think Dante, am I tripping, or did Dante release a couple of songs? But he had always been a content creator at heart and more a streamer than anything else. It's clear that that was something he was very, very passionate about. Yes, he did drop some music back in the day. I remember that Sab song. So he got...
I listened to it. Shout out to Dante. You feel me? I've been rocking with Dante for years. You feel me? So shout out to bro, for real.
4 million streams on a song. That's not a joke. But like 2019, I'm Dante. That guy was, sheesh. You couldn't play with that guy's numbers back then. And he pivoted at the right time. But he's given a good take here, which is PlaqueBoyMax. To be fair, PlaqueBoyMax is not quitting streaming. Like the level of pay cut that PlaqueBoy.
Yeah, I think it's possible. I think you could be a streamer and a rapper at this point. I feel like at this point, like, especially when you have so many rappers coming on these guys' streams, it's like the facade is gone. You feel me? The mystery, all those things, they're gone. You feel what I'm saying? Like, nobody cares anymore about rappers trying to be cool. It's like, at this point, being authentic is cool. You feel me? At this point, people like to see. At least from my perspective, I might be wrong on this, but I think people like to see people's personalities at this point. Like, with rappers, you always got to be stoic and stuff, and you got to be closed off and everything. But I think streaming has opened it up to where, one, you know, that side of rappers that we never really got to see before is now like visible through them coming on people's streams. And two, I feel like streamers themselves, like, because of how their fan bases, like the way their fan bases really rock with them and everything, like, I think at this point, like, I don't think anything could really stop you from doing both at the end of the day. Like, if you have a fan base that really supports you, I think it is possible to both stream and to rap. I think it is. So, I mean, look at DDG and Max both selling out shows and everything. They did Rolling Loud. Like, people were rocking with them. You feel me? Like, DDG was on top of the world for how long? Doing both. You know what I'm saying? So I think at this, like, probably before, but I think streaming has just changed everything. So I definitely think it's possible for somebody to rap and stream at this point.
Max would have to take to quit streaming is you're telling me the guy's going to lose 95% of his income. I'm 95% pay cut, not lose 95% of his income. Streaming is just too lucrative for PlaqueBoyMax, not lucrative in general for PlaqueBoyMax for him to stop. And it's such a good feeder into his music. And right. The majority of his fans are like, yo, we mess with your music.
Yeah, like it. Yeah, but like I was saying, it literally helps out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you streaming, I feel like if anything, that just boosts the music in a way. If that makes sense.
But we mess with you first because of the connection we have with you, which
Right.
is due to your streaming. So if you abandon us and then just to do music, it's like, yo, we're not really tripping off of your music like that. And an example of somebody that tried to do this and failed is DDG. So DDG tried to go like fall back and just do the music stuff, and it didn't really work too well. And he noticed that the medium was, he had to do content creation and music at the same time. And this isn't even DDG doing Twitch. This is when DDG was doing YouTube vlogs. It was like a couple of years ago, maybe 3-4 years ago. So he went back to doing the vlogs, and he realized that his music numbers were the highest when he was doing that, and that his core fans didn't really care, and that the people that he was trying to impress had already written him off, that no matter what he did, they weren't going to convert, or the only thing that he really could do to convert them was to drop hits, or like hit songs, which he dropped one. I guess you could say two. Maybe I'm Geeking is considered a hit. People talk about that a lot. With PlaqueBoyMax, he is so much bigger than DDG right now, and I will put my hand on it. I am betting that PlaqueBoyMax will be back before September. I would think he might be back before August. And the reason for me saying that is summer vacation. Why do you think AMP just decided to do a 30-day marathon on July 1st? It's because their whole audience is home for the summer. They're just going to be sitting down, watching all day, all night, interacting, building up the community. So PlaqueBoyMax is not going to miss out on a gigantic bag in July. Now, if he disappears after that, hey, that's a different story. But I see him coming back at least in August, I would say. There's no way he stays gone until September. Gone until whose bar is that? Gone until November came. I think it was Drake. Yeah, that's just how you know Drake is him, dog. Like random Drake bars or.
It's definitely. I'm pretty sure that's Drake. Drake is him, bro. Don't ever get it twisted. You feel me? Drake is him. When it comes to this music stuff, he is him, bro. Don't ever get it twisted. The moment you've written Drake off is the moment I know you don't know music at all. You feel me?
Melodies
just have to throw that out there. You feel me? Shout out to Drake.
Come to your head, and you're like, oh no, that's you, not me. No, it's you two. Don't lie, please. Let's just be honest with each other. It's just between me and you. Okay, it's really just between you and you. So for PlaqueBoyMax, this dude's gonna come back. He is not going to make it as a rapper without streaming. That's it. And like I said, I think
I think he could, but I think it would definitely be way harder. But I do think he could though. But I don't think he will. I think it would be much more harder for him to just go into music. But I do think he could make it though.
Max's skill is not in rap, because think about all of the other artists that are up-and-coming rappers right now that PlaqueBoyMax has to compete with. Can he even compete with them? No, he can't. The only edge that he has, and that's not to say PlaqueBoyMax is terrible or bad, he's just subpar. And the only edge that he has to compete with them is the marketing front. Like, if they're sending you artists anyway, you might as well. It's clear that it's not clear that you convert them into listeners, but it's clear that they see a value in the audience that you have. And I think it's senseless to just quit. But I do think he's making them miss you. That's a different story. So I think PlaqueBoyMax is playing the mysterious game when it comes to streaming instead of music, and he has the streaming audience, his audience, like they're building a closer bond, but they're missing him more and more and more now that he's gone. So when he comes back, they're gonna appreciate him a ton. They're gonna catch up. He's gonna give them some content. He's probably been working on music this entire time. But I've always said this, PlaqueBoyMax is best served being not A&R, but like an executive producer, a curator. Think of a DJ Khaled type, or a Ye, or not a Ye in terms of, because Ye's a producer and a rapper, but maybe like a Rick Rubin, but Rick Rubin didn't really release stuff.
He's just a creative, bro. At the end of the day, he just has that creative spirit. He could do whatever. I think he could jump into any lane, personally.
Khaled's the only one that I can think of that released stuff and wasn't actually doing production on it, although he did have a background as a producer and a DJ. But yeah, that role PlaqueBoyMax could have a completely new lane that he dominates due to that. And there's no one to compete with him there. And he could rap and drop a verse here and there, but it shouldn't be like the mainstay fixture of that. And he did do that in his Atlanta EP that he dropped before this solo project. Now, hopefully Zach Bia isn't gassing him. Like, listen, Zach Bia, he knows what he's doing. Although, like, one of the artists, wasn't SSG Kobe signed to Zach Bia? What happened to that guy? That guy should have just kept pushing through whatever accusations he had. Because you got Nine Vicious just coming on there and saying, yeah, y'all, I was tripping, and just kept dropping and nobody cared. SSG Kobe tried to fall back. He tried to do an apology. He tried to do an okie doke, a square dance, and yeah, we don't even know what's going on with him anymore. So with PlaqueBoyMax, like, yeah, hopefully Zach Bia doesn't tell him to focus on music, because I think Zach Bia is a lot smarter than that. Like, that guy's kind of a DJ. He knows influence and being tapped into the kids is it, and that's why he linked up with PlaqueBoyMax. So he's not going to tell the guy to just fall back and start rapping. When rapping is, not only is it significantly less profitable, you have a lot less influence over narratives in the younger generation, which pushes trends, than you do as a sole rapper. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Am I tripping? Do you think PlaqueBoyMax will take longer to come back, or what? Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you.
Yeah, man. I definitely think Max is coming back. I think for sure. I don't know. I guess he's working on some stuff in the music on the music scene or whatever. So that's probably what was going on with him. But I definitely think he's going back. You know, I can put money on it. You feel me? So, but whatever the case may be, I know he's going to be successful at it. He's not an idiot. Obviously, he knows what he's doing. So I'm not even tripping on it. Of course, I wish him the best in any of his endeavors. You feel me? And shout out to him, honestly. Like, I genuinely rock with him, his personality, content, all that stuff. So, yeah, shout out to Hello Yassine. This was a great video, pretty informative. Got me up on everything that was going on. There was a lot of backstory here that I didn't even know. Shout out to Dante, you feel me? He's just the GOAT, you feel me? And shout out to Drake, too, you feel me? You know? And yeah, man. Shout out to everyone, you feel me? Shout out to everyone. You feel me? Yeah, man. Shout out to everyone, you feel me? It's a lot of, everybody doing their thing at the end of the day. So, whatever everyone got going on, I just wish them the best at it at the end of the day. So, that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. You feel me? Make sure to like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on post notifications so you can see everything I upload. And subscribe. I already said that, but I'm going to say it again. You feel me? Make sure to subscribe. And, comment in the comment section what y'all think about this whole situation. Talk to me, whatever y'all feeling. Make sure to follow me on Twitch, 3B Streams. You feel me? Y'all going to see it wherever, if I have in the video or in the link in the description, whatever the case may be. But follow me on Twitch. You feel me? I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff on there. So, yeah. I'm out. Y'all be safe. Bye.
She know I'm the one